Welcome back, I Know Football fans. This is my very first video of my brand new series called IKF 5 and 5, where I'm going to be bringing you 5 football news stories in 5 minutes over the past week, where you can count on every week to get your football news. So we're going to put 60 seconds on the clock and start off with the first story. The first story is about Florida State University, where head coach Jimbo Fisher has instituted a 4-step character building program for his players. This comes after backup quarterback DeAndre Johnson was caught punching a woman in a bar. That video circulated all through the internet. You guys were on Twitter, Facebook. There were mad discussions about it. This comes after first-string tailback Dalvin Cook was also caught punching a woman outside a bar. So the 4-step character building program is going to use Navy SEALs, FBI agents, and Russell Wilson to teach these players about character building. I'm more interested in what the 4 steps are. The coach also banned all players from going to the bar. Not sure what effect banning all your players from bars are gonna have, but you can beat women anywhere. You can beat them in the street, outside the bar, inside the bar, at your home, pretty much anywhere on campus. Interested in what you guys think. Do you think that the 4-step program and banning players from the bars are gonna stop Florida State players from domestic violence? This next story is about Cris Carter. Cris Carter, what were you thinking? Cris Carter is one of the best receivers, greatest receivers of all time. Played on the Vikings, was still one of the best receivers when he had Randy Moss on his team. And Cris Carter was caught in a video that surfaced last week telling NFL rookies that they need themselves a fall guy.
In case y'all not gonna decide to do the right thing, if y'all got a crew, you got to have a fall guy in the crew.
If you don't know what a fall guy is someone who, when you do something that's going to get you in trouble, whether it's go to jail or whatever, that you always point to them and they're going to be the one that's going to take the rap. Fall guys are not something new. A lot of celebrities have fall guys. You might remember Lil Wayne, T.I., all those guys, they always got a fall guy. But Cris Carter, he's such a nice guy and was caught saying something that he shouldn't have. I don't know how I feel about having a fall guy. You know the type of players that you have in the league. You know they're going to get in trouble. Was he really looking out for the best interest of the players? Question for you, do you think that players should have a fall guy? Do you have a fall guy? Comment below. Rams Cowboys joint practice, second joint practice for them. They couldn't complete it. There was a massive brawl that broke out. And I actually don't see a problem with this. If you've got your offense and your defense on your own team fighting, what makes you think by having a joint practice that they're not going to fight? I mean, what makes you think that people don't want to see the fighting? What makes hockey so popular? What made NFL Blitz so popular? What made the XFL so popular? Okay, so maybe the XFL wasn't that popular, but they're talking about no more in-game fighting, that they're trying to prevent in-game fighting. Why have joint practice in the first place if you're not going to expect a little fight to break out? What is football without some of that fighting? Now, I'm not saying I agree with fighting. I'm not for violence. I'm just saying we're playing a violent sport, and what makes you think that preventing fighting is going to work? How do you think you're going to prevent fighting? Definitely comment below. Give me your ideas on how you think they should prevent fighting in the future. James Harrison, one of our favorite linebackers from the Pittsburgh Steelers, took the participation trophies away from his own kids. And there's a couple problems with this. Why are your kids having participation trophies in the first place? If you're a future Hall of Fame linebacker, I would take my own kids' trophies away too. They should be getting championship trophies, not participation trophies. So I don't disagree with him taking away participation trophies, but the media turned it into a whole big thing, and it turns out that he ended up having to give back his participation trophies to his kids. So this is nothing new. Parents for a long time have been saying kids should not be getting participation trophies. I don't even know when we started giving participation trophies to kids in the first place. I'm all for trophies. I'm all for rewarding kids. I'm just not for rewarding kids for just doing what they're supposed to do. The world doesn't work like that. The real world doesn't work like that, and we're setting our kids up for failure by just giving them participation trophies. I'm all for taking a kid out for pizza after the soccer game, after the football game, but I'm not for that everyone gets a trophy. How do you expect them to succeed? How do you expect them to get better when everyone's rewarded? I actually just can't believe that he ended up giving the trophies back to his kids. This last story for you is actually a funny one. I'm gonna leave you guys off with this one just because I've talked about 4 stories that might have you feeling a little bit down, and this one's kind of funny. But one of the players from the Arizona Rattlers, this is an arena football team in Phoenix, was caught dancing with the rest of the dancers, and he definitely had some moves. So go ahead and check this out.
Arena League playoff game. Now Hernandez is not on the team, but good lord, he ought to be in the next Usher video. That is a big man doing the bump, the boogaloo.
Yeah.
Where's Don Cornelius? Now, Herb,
what?
you were a young man during the disco era.
Well, I might have been a young man during the disco era. That doesn't mean I was a disco dancer, but this guy can dance. He's very athletic. He's got some potatoes in his sack. That's how you got. That's what you need if you're gonna play football. It might be an offensive lineman. That right there is pretty.
I really like what Herm Edwards said about the player, but not sure what he was talking about with that whole potato sack thing. But those are my stories. Hope you like my first episode. Shout out to my Michigan fans. Go Blue. Hope you beat Utah. If you like my videos, remember to give me a thumbs up, share, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.